Knowledge is power.
DJ Hill Nazareth with United City Plugin, and today we're going to make our M8 sound card more effective than any other standard DJ mixer. So if you're still watching, let's begin. So I did a review on the M8 sound card a year ago, I believe. So if you have time, check out that review. In this video, however, I am going to show everyone how to make their M8 live sound card more effective and more durable when streaming on live without any distortion or any complications. I'm also going to show people how to use certain inputs and outputs when broadcasting. So like I said, in the following order, I'm going to show each and every step here. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section. But for now,
all systems go.
So I get a lot of questions and feedback from different viewers and content creators and how to set up certain parts and different connections using the M8 sound card. And to the following content creators on the screen, I apologize. Most of the time when I do a video, I try to have everything all in one so that everybody get what they want. But in this case, I noticed that more than 5 people had the same question. So this is why I'm doing this video today. So to everyone that's viewing this video, I apologize. And for those who made comments in the comment section, let's begin. So before I begin any setup, I like to list all the equipment I'm going to use, starting with ground loop isolator, 4 3.5 auxiliary audio cables, a pair of headphones or earphones, a speaker if you do have it, mainly portable, a USB Type-C cable, and of course, an audio volume control attenuator. Now, if you don't have one of these, fine, but I do recommend you have at least a USB Type-C, headphones, audio cable, and a ground loop noise isolator. Why? Because sometimes there's distortion and static when you're dealing with these inexpensive yet cheap live sound cards. So let's turn the back of the live sound card and begin connecting everything accordingly. But before I do, let me just say one thing too. Okay, so pay attention to this screen because this is very important. I get a lot of questions in all of these areas. For example, background music, which is always the accompany input. Now, if you want your music louder, then don't use the background music. That's number one. Then you have music MP3, can go into live 1 or 2. Now, this is where you normally plug in your MP3 music. That's if you want it there. For people that want their background music louder, I put your music in live 1 or live 2. Another question I get with the M8 sound card is using the microphone effects with music. Yes, you can do this. However, with the certain equipment like I listed previously, that's what you're going to use to do this. But yes, you can use your microphone effects with your audio. And another question I normally get is, can't hear myself talk, but the streamers can. Now, if this is the case, I always say use your earphone input, not the headset, but your earphone. So once again, these are all the questions I normally get asked about the M8. So let's begin connecting everything step by step. And like I said, I will go through each of these typical questions accordingly. And as usual, I normally label everything accordingly so everybody can understand how to connect everything. So if you're still having problems, which is fine by me, just comment below or email us and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So let's just connect everything. And with that being said,
all systems go.
I'm going to go through several inputs and outputs in the demo/setup. and answer several questions viewers asked in the comments section. Now, like I said before, and I will repeat this throughout the video, this isn't a high quality sound card, which is why I use the volume attenuator on the left side, which the dial is on minimum right now, but we're going to change that later on. So now I connected my MP3 player to the M8. I'm going to zoom out now so we can go through the cables and everything to show you exactly how I have it connected and how you're... Okay, so on the left side, I have the iPhone 6S, nothing fancy. It just plays music. And that is connected to the output of the audio volume attenuator. So what you see right here, the iPhone red cable is going to the output of the audio volume attenuator. And then the input is going to the live one on the M8 sound card. And of course, I am using the earphone for my speaker. And of course, I am using a condenser microphone to talk. And of course, it's powered on. So this is a basic setup when using this M8 sound card. Nothing too flashy. Everything is coming clear. So I'm going to play some music so you can hear the quality. If you have a pair of headphones, I suggest you put them on. Do not use any wireless headphones. Wired is the way to go so you can hear the quality of your audio coming in and out. So right now I'm going to just turn up the music and play, okay? So with that being said,
All systems go.
okay, so like I said, this is a basic setup using the M8 sound card with the MP3 player, an audio attenuator, a couple of audio cables, a condenser microphone, and of course a USB cable for power. So let me go to another setup using the background music and the condenser microphone. Okay, so once again is connecting the background music with a condenser microphone. So right now I'm using the auto tune. So throughout the demo setup, I'm going to be using different microphone effects so you can hear the quality when I'm using the M8. So no one can say I'm cheating or anything else. Anyway, I'll get back to that later. But this is the way you would connect if you wanted to play background music while talking. So I have the microphone connected in mic 1. Earphone is my speaker, of course. And then you have the accompany input. Now that is connected once again to the audio attenuator, and then the other end is going to the MP3 player. And that's pretty much it. So the background music always plays lower than your actual voice. Once again, the accompany background music normally plays lower than the condenser microphone. So for example, I'm talking now and say I wanted to play some music, right? So even if I have this audio attenuator all the way up, you're going to still hear low volume when using the background accompany input. And like I said, I'm turning this audio attenuator all the way up. And because I'm using the accompany input, that is why you hear the volume so low of the music. So a viewer did ask that question, so I hope this explains everything. Background music always plays lower, especially when you're using a microphone. If you want your music louder, I advise you to use either Live 1 or Live 2. So once again, if you want your music louder than what is going on now, use Live 1 or Live 2, not accompany. But if you want the background music to be lower than your voice, then use, yes, the accompany input. And that's it. Another question I did get, and this is one of my favorites, is using the microphone effects with my MP3. You can also do that. Let's just do this right now. And anyone that's still watching, if you're enjoying this video, just please like, share, and subscribe. And follow us on these popular social media platforms.
Perfect.
Now let's go to the final setup, which is using my microphone effects with my audio music. So let's begin. Okay, so this is the final setup. This is one of the popular ones, and that is using your microphone effects with your audio. It can work with the right equipment and, of course, the right audio capability. Now, sometimes when you're using a MP3 player, you have two choices of volume. You have the sound card, which is the M8, and then you have the audio from, of course, your MP3 player. So when you're dealing with the microphone input, I advise you to turn down the volume on your MP3 player. Once again, if you're connecting your MP3 player to play audio with the input of the microphone, then I advise you to turn down the audio on your MP3 player. Why? Because when we start to use the audio on our sound card, we don't want any distortion. And I get feedback on that question all the time. I advise people who are going to do this step to just turn down the volume on your MP3 player, and then when you finish, then you can continue going back to your sound card. So I'm going to turn it to the front panel, of course, but right now I'm just showing you the back panel setup as usual. Mic 2 is going to my MP3 player, the same setup once again with the audio volume control attenuator. Here we go. Volume is down, of course, and this is what's connected to the MP3 player. Alongside that is the microphone, which I am using, and I have my speaker. Now, for people who always ask this question, why they cannot hear their audio when everybody else can, and this is because sometimes people use the headset. Headset has an input and an output. Once again, the headset has an input and output. So if you just want to hear the music on the M8 sound card, just use the earphone. Plain and simple. Let's start playing some music. And as always, with that being said...
Perfect.
Okay, so we're back in the front panel, so we can go through each of the sound effects, test out the different knobs on the M8 sound card. Let's start playing some music, okay? And I already have it selected on the first microphone effect, so I'm going to go through that whole green line, starting with the primal sound, and here we go. And I'm not going to talk as much because I want you to hear the audio. Not me, but the audio. I'll probably talk now and again, but this is the important part. So, with that being said...
All systems go.
Now they went, you know what I mean? Talking about now, here and now, here we go. Come on, style. Just stay with the top. Here and now. Just stay with the top. Here and now. Where you at, baby boy?
Female voice. Male voice. Lolly voice.
Just stay away from the top. You know what I mean? Talking about now, here and now. Here we go. Come on, style.
Major.
Stay away from the
Okay, so this is pretty much the whole setup, how you can modify your sound card with your MP3 player and make it much more effective than it already is. So like I said in the beginning, this is a cheap live sound card. But as you can see, I am getting it to work accordingly, and so can you. And if you still have any questions, just leave it in the comment section. Now, if you have any questions and you're still stuck, just comment below. And thank you for watching. Stay safe.